Bears at Commanders. Commanders favored by 5.5. They're 2-2. Bears still winless after they were up 28-7 last weekend against the Broncos, blew the lead, and unable to make the comeback after the Broncos took the late lead. What are you looking for in this one?
Well, I mean, we saw signs of life from Justin Fields and the Bears offense last week, but was that simply a product of going up against Denver, whose defense looks atrocious at the moment? Washington's defense, okay, it's not amazing, but it's got a formidable defensive line, and it's not a complete joke like Denver's is currently. Does this revival from Chicago still hold, or do they go back to being the Bears where they can't get anything going? You know, Fields looks awful, everything looks terrible, and the whole thing is a mess again. Really, I mean, that's this game. If it's like that, Washington win and cover easily. If, however, there was something to this mini revival from Chicago, then it's more interesting.
Do you have an updated pace for Sam Howell's sacks for this season?
No, let me go figure that out.
27
it's over 100
or so. So he's over 100.
Yeah, the record is what, 74 or something?
76, I believe it was for David Carr back in 2002. I think one of the trends of the early season here, Sam, is teams that have a pass rush that is on paper not good run into a quarterback who makes it look good. You know, it was the Jaguars last week against the Falcons. It was Sam Howell against the Bills. Not that the pass rush for the Bills isn't good, but they're not 9 sacks good. So the Bears have the very worst pass rush grade in the NFL this year, 55.4. And that's not a massive surprise, right? This was in this 2-year rebuild so far by Ryan Pace and the Bears. They haven't gotten to the defensive line yet, or they've just got younger developmental players and some, they just haven't done enough there, and that hasn't shown up. So my question is the Bears' pass rush going to look formidable all of a sudden? Now, last week, Sam Howell did a good job getting rid of the ball. They protected themselves against the Eagles' defensive front. But if there's a week where the Bears can at least, create some negative plays defensively, it could be against Howell.
Yeah, he only took 5 sacks against the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's good.
And 3 were from Nicholas Morrow. It was a linebacker. Right. That was very rare for the Eagles.
He's on pace for 102.
Yeah, that's crazy.
By the way, Daniel Jones, only 2 sacks behind him. So
it's a battle.
He's on pace for 90-something.
The NFC East. Where's Brandon Graham in sacks? Did we bring that back?
I think you officially declined the bet this time, like a coward.
Did I?
I believe so, because I forced you to declare it. I said it officially it's a good thing you did, because the man has 0.
Oh, he's got 0. Okay. Yeah. In this year where you got to face Sam Howell last week, and he gets Daniel Jones soon. On the other hand, the biggest complaint about Sam Howell's game has been those negative plays. But as far as throwing the ball outside of the Bills game, he's been excellent. Whipping it around and creating some big plays, and I thought he was outstanding in that game against the Eagles, given the circumstances, trying to lead a pass-happy attack. And the Commanders' offense has been interesting. They've been good for 3 out of 4 games, basically. They got shut down against the Bills, but the other 3 games looking pretty explosive. So we had something else to discuss here in this game.
Do we?
Yeah, we get PrizePicks.
Oh.
So our friends at PrizePicks are back, and we've got the PFF PrizePicks lineup for Thursday Night Football. So we have a PFF lineup that we're gonna play every single week. Sam Howell over 1.5 touchdown passes, and DJ Moore, Bears receiver, over 3.5 receptions. Any thoughts on either of those? Over 1.5 touchdowns for Sam Howell, over 3.5 receptions for DJ Moore.
I like over 1.5 touchdowns for Sam Howell, even though that's only happened once this season. Now, does he get credit? This is passing touchdowns rather than combined?
It's a good question.
Isn't it?
I don't know.
I think, does that change things? I believe it does.
The run would help.
Yeah.
Certainly. I like it either way against this Bears defense.
Yeah. Now, you had 1 against Arizona, 1 against Philadelphia, 2 against the Denver defense, which we talked about being the worst defense in the NFL currently, and then obviously nothing against Buffalo. So even though there's not much of a track record of him hitting over 1.5, I like that to happen against this.
I like it against the Bears defense. PrizePicks is a skill-based, real money, daily fantasy sports game. How does it work? You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they will go more or less than their PrizePicks projection, you can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. PrizePicks adds a ton of excitement to the sports viewing experience. Watch your progress update in real time, win up to 25 times your entry amount, and cash out your winnings with quick scoring, setting, and withdrawals. Go to prizepicks.com/PFFNFL and use code PFFNFL for a first deposit match up to $100. Again, that's prizepicks.com/PFFNFL. Use the code PFFNFL for a first deposit match up to $100. All right, man, let's make a pick on this one. Commanders by 5.5 against the Bears. I'm kind of torn with you. Was this a rejuvenated Fields? Was it in passing offense overall from the Bears? They did turn a corner last year where they looked far more explosive on offense. Is that the stretch of play that we're about to hit here in this part of the season?
I don't think so. I think they're still going to be bad. And I don't have a ton of confidence in Washington covering any kind of significant number. So I think they'll win, but Chicago will keep it within 5.5.
Oh, you're taking Chicago, huh?
Yes.
Okay. I'll take Chicago to cover. I do think there's a corner turned offensively. I think it's going to be better than a 12-7 game than we saw last year. That was like rock bottom for the Bears right before they started to come out of it last year. They came out of it and didn't win a game after that.
Right.
But they came out of it with some optimism for their offense.
The night is always darkest before the dawn.
Yeah.
That was the darkest point. And then the dawn was still no wins.
Still waiting.
Yeah.
Dawn might be next draft season. Bears projected to have the first 2 picks.
Well, then we're still getting darker.